What's up, y'all? This is a random video, man. I actually made another video earlier about Marcos Maidana. Check that out. I'm gonna upload it. I might upload it later or tomorrow. But yo, like, what do y'all feel about Adonis Stevenson? Honestly, like, drop your comments. What do y'all feel about him? You know, I think like a lot of you, we all have mixed feelings about him because I think he pissed a lot of people off when he went to Showtime and didn't fight Kovalev over there. Because HBO was definitely trying to set that fight up. They were definitely trying to set it up. They had Kovalev fighting on the undercard at that time. Okay? And they had the post-fight interviews. They were interviewing both acts, Stevenson, seemed like, his response was like, show the money. And the fight never happened. Kovalev went on to grab 3 of the titles. And, he lost a Ward, but, he had a great run. They might have a rematch. And then Stevenson went on to Showtime, and, he still had some good fights. I have his box rec right here. Since he went over there, I think he went over there and fought Fonfara. I think that was his first fight over there. All right, because Tony Bellew, I remember that fight. In fact, I think Kovalev fought on the undercard that Bellew fight. Right? And then he went to Showtime. Stevenson went to Showtime and went to war with Fonfara. But anyway, like, what do y'all feel about him? Because this is how I feel. I know he didn't fight Kovalev, right? I'm just going to throw out the issues right out there. He didn't fight Kovalev. He left HBO. And he didn't fight Bernard Hopkins neither. Now, I know that fight they were trying to make that fight. And then Bernard Hopkins went over to HBO with Golden Boy and then fought Kovalev. That's how I remember it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But why doesn't Stevenson, outside of that, because you got to also remember, the fight with Kovalev was supposed to happen later. And the last time I remember, it was Kovalev and Kafti Duvas for that the second attempt that they try to make the fight work between Kovalev and Stevenson. It was because Duva and Kovalev. I think the first time was because of Stevenson. I think the second time was because of Kovalev. So the fight never happened. So moving on from that, Stevenson had the war with Fonfara. Suhatsky, he beat Sakio Bika fight. These are fights that we really didn't care about. Tommy Carpensy, I believe Carpensy was coming off of the win against Chad Dawson when he fought Don Stevenson. No, he had a couple wins and then he fought Don Stevenson. Okay. But Carpensy's a good fighter. Like, I was checking him out a little bit around that time, and I thought Carpensy was a good fighter. And then he fought Thomas Williams Jr., another guy that I've been watching a long time since he used to fight on MSNBC and ESPN. So I like Thomas Williams Jr. I know he just got knocked out by Marcus Brown. But anyway, this how I feel. Like, why doesn't Stevenson get the credit he deserves at all? Like, he's just one of those guys that's like a top fighter, but gets unnoticed. Like, the dude puts on good fights. He has great knockouts. He has probably the most lethal straight left hand in boxing today of all divisions. Arguably, you could throw Rigo in there. You could throw a couple other southpaws in there. Lara got a good left hand, but I think Stevenson's left hand is just like, if he lands it perfectly, he can knock anyone out. It's not too many guys that actually went to decision with him. I see Bika went, but I think that was like a shutout, and then I think Fonfara went, but Fonfara got knocked down like 3-4 times in that fight. But the guy got a good resume, He avenged his only loss to Darnell Boone, knocked out Chad Dawson. I know Dawson was coming off of that award loss, but it was still big. Chad Dawson still was in shape. I mean, he looked good, and I mean, Chad Dawson is still a very decorated light heavy. For what he did, that was a good win. Beating Taurus Cloud before everybody went and started beating him. Cloud only had one loss at that time. He knocked out Tony Bellew. Something that no one seems to be doing right now. I mean, Tony Bellew just went to heavyweight and knocked out or stopped, what's this guy name? David Hay. And I didn't even bother to watch that fight. I watched it now, but I thought David Hay was going to destroy Tony Bellew within the first 3-4 rounds. He fought from Farah and, all these other guys. So, I mean, listen, why is he not mentioned ever? Like, I've never seen him in a top 10 pound for pound. I mean, he's been holding that WBC shabby. I believe he's still the linear champion at 175. I mean, what's the deal? I mean, he's an alright guy, I mean, outside of the ring, I don't really know much. I think his post-fight interviews are kind of funny sometimes, but I mean, the guy comes in and does what he has to do. I don't really care about his personality. He comes in the ring and he knocks people out. He beats them up, and they usually don't last long. What's the deal? Why is he? Is it because Kovalev is in the division as well? Kovalev probably, he did fight Hopkins. So you got to give him credit for that. He fought Hopkins. I think before he fought Hopkins, though, I thought Stevenson clearly had the better resume up until Sergey Kovalev fought Hopkins, because that was a big thing at that time. Kovalev at that time fought Cedric Agnew, Kovalev, Ishmael Shalat. Oh, I remember that fight. That was the fight that was on the undercard of the Bellew Stevenson fight. I remember watching it that night on HBO. So Agnew, Capillero, Capillero dropped him. Agnew gave him some trouble, and he was fighting a little dirty with the low blows. I remember that. Ishmael, he knocked him out quick. Nathan Cleverly, he knocked him out in like 4 rounds. And then he fought Hopkins and destroyed Hopkins. And even though that was old Bernard, he was still relevant at that time. It was those three. Those were the top 3 dogs at 175. And then he fought Pascal. All right, so you can say Kovalev, their resumes are at least debatable. They're both knocking out majority of the fighters that they fought. What's the deal with Stevenson? Like, how come no one ever mentions him? Including myself. It's like he fights people, and I guess it's because we don't care about who he's fighting. Is it that? I think it's probably that. I know you guys are listening to me like, we here to listen to you. I don't really want to talk. I'm asking y'all, like, I'm gonna be looking forward to reading the comments, because I don't know. I feel kind of funny because he fights decent fighters. It's just, I guess no one cares. I guess unless he fights Berterbiev, maybe he's gonna fight Marcus Brown next. I think he's gonna fight Marcus Brown next. I mean, I guess Ward, and everybody's expecting Ward and Kovalev to have a rematch. So, I know a lot of people don't want to Stevenson to fight Ward, because they want Ward to fight Kovalev again. I already said, like, if he doesn't fight Kovalev in a rematch, Ward should be fighting Adonis Stevenson and trying to become undisputed, or one of them should be undisputed. But I think Stevenson is dangerous for Ward, man. That guy, I know Kovalev. I know Kovalev has knockout power in both hands, but I seriously think that Adonis Stevenson might even hit harder than him with that one left hand. And at one point, I thought Stevenson really didn't have much, much of a variety, because it was all the left hand. Like all he was doing was throwing the left hand, left hand. He wouldn't even throw his right at all. But he's improved on that. You know, he's made better use of his right hand too, his hooks, and better use of his jab. You know, setting up that left hand. So he really got his technique down to a science now, and I think he's improved. Even though he's getting old, man. He's 39 years old. You know, and he's gonna be 40 this year. But he's still fighting at a high level. You know, he might be one of those guys like that's gonna go up to 45. You know, still fighting. Maybe. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? You know, do you think he's pound for pound? If he's not pound for pound, where would you place him? If he's not top 10, would you put him in the top 15, top 20? You know, why is he so much lower than Ward and Kovalev? You know, why? Why? Just, you know, I want to hear that. Because I've said, you know, I don't have a pound for pound up, but I would put Kovalev in my top 5 and Ward. How far away is Adonis Stevenson? You know? Why is he never mentioned? I want to hear from you guys. Like I said, if I were to do a top 10, I might add him in like number 10 or 9 spot. You know, I really would have to think about it. You know, but I mean, he's fighting decent guys. It's not like he's fighting bums. He's fighting solid guys at 175. He hasn't fought a guy that I felt was really dangerous for him. You know, I mean, if he were to fight Ward, Kovalev, and Beterbiev, a few other guys. Who else is there? I'm gonna look at this ranking real quick, and then I'm gonna get off this. Joe Smith Jr. Oh, yeah, that fight is probably gonna happen. I wouldn't be surprised. But he should be able to knock out Joe Smith. But you know, you never know with Joe Smith. Joe Smith is on a great run. Alvarez is there still. You know, Pascal, I want to see if Pascal even got anything left in the tank before I'll see that fight. Now, I know there's a little fake bad blood between them. You got Beterbiev, you got Marcus Brown. I mean, you got Sullivan Barrera still around. You know, Sullivan Barrera and Artur Beterbiev fight is not happening. So what's up with Barrera? What's he doing? I guess there's about good 4 or 5 names that Adonis Stevenson could fight that people would care about. But let me know what you guys think, all right? I already made this video longer than I expected. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you hit subscribe. I'll try to throw a couple more videos up this weekend. But I am leaving town tonight. And if I get some time, I'll bring my laptop. If I can get some videos in, I will. If not, I got this video up. And then I got a video about Marcus Maidana. I just wanted to do a video on that. Kind of out of nowhere, but check it out. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.